Welcome, welcome back to the Peachy Graduate Podcast. My guest today is Saskia Jordan. Welcome.
Hello, good to be here.
Great to have you here too, and thank you for your time this morning. I know you're a busy PT, you're a busy person, and squeezing extra into the week isn't always that easy. So I really appreciate your time. Thanks, Saskia. And it's great to be able to chat. And the purpose for chatting is to talk about the awards, to congratulate you on winning Up and Coming PT of the Year 2023.
Thank you. Woo!
Superb. So, so did you nominate? Did someone nominate you, or did you put your hand up? What happened there?
Well, so my manager talked to me about the awards, and I had actually entered the year before.
Oh yeah.
Um, However, I just don't think I was ready yet. I had a little bit to improve on, which I was glad in the long run that I did reapply for the second year,
Yeah.
of course. So she just said, give it another go. You've grown so much. And I thought, why not? I'll just give it another go. And here we are.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
So did you get some good feedback from the previous year? Some things
Yes.
that you knew you could work on?
Absolutely. So the first year, I think the main struggle for me was I was not very confident in myself. Like I absolutely loved my job and I was very passionate,
Mm,
but the first year I went through the interview process, they said, you need to be more confident in yourself. You're a great coach. Just don't be afraid to talk about yourself, talk yourself
yeah.
up. So
Yeah.
that was one of the main points. And the other main point was building on my community. So I think a big focus for me last year was developing my community a bit more, using different platforms such as social media to do so. And I think I really took that on board and did a good job of that.
Yeah, nice, nice. So, so what was the plan? What have you done in terms of uh, chipping away at the social media side of things, and what sort of things do you do to build confidence? Because it's not like a switch, is it? It's like, there's some work to do.
Exactly. Yeah. So, in regards to the community side, I took a wee while at the end of 2022 to figure out what I could do that aligned with my values that would build my community. So, I think I already had a good base, but
Nice.
over last year, I really took it upon myself to do events outside of the gym, which I think really helped. So, I started a little Facebook group chat, got all my clients into that, and through there, came up with a few events. So we did like a burgers and beer night. We
Mm,
did some coffee catch ups, and just holding everyone accountable as well. I think really helped, and people meeting, my clients meeting the other clients. That
mm.
really helped develop that sense of community, and it was super super fun. And also, just going to those events as well. On a side note, I think it was good because it showed people that PT isn't just about the one-on-one time. It's about getting to know new people, making new friends, having burgers and beers. It's not, I'm
Yeah,
not going to tell them to eat chicken and broccoli all the time.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that was one component, was the group chats and doing events outside of the gym. And then in regards to the question you had about building confidence, I think it was just self affirmations, really. So, believing myself, I have little affirmations,
Yeah.
dream board, vision board, all those things, even though it may
Nice.
sound a bit cheesy.
Yeah, it's
Um,
okay.
yeah, and then just practicing what I preach. So although I know I'm very passionate and knowledgeable about my field of work, I think just being confident that I know what I'm doing with my clients, I know that, I can help them improve their quality of life, and just taking that on board, that feeling of, yeah, I'm a boss woman, I'm confident, and going into work every day with that mindset really did help me
Yeah,
improve. And
yeah.
also last year I did read a lot of self-development books as well, which I really, really found help too. So if you ever need book
Mm,
recommendations, I've got a
mm.
few.
Might come back to that later, Saskia.
Yeah.
Um, that's awesome. That's brilliant, and I think fantastic. Good on you for just so embracing all of the things that you'd been given that feedback on and the opportunity to grow. And it looks like, well, you clearly did, but you don't win awards without doing the work. So fantastic. Good on you. I see you've got a bit of a rowing background and you've done some boxing as well. Is that right?
Yes, yes, I have. I'll
Did
delve
you
into that.
tell me about the rowing? Because was that sort of your sporting background as a rower?
Yes and no. So I wasn't actually a very sporty kid for a wee while. I
Mm,
did competitively, I swam when I was younger, and then there was a
yeah.
phase for I think 4 or so years where I just hated exercise. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. I think I had a really strict swimming coach who was Russian, and he kind of
Yes.
put me off it for a bit.
Yeah.
But then I did actually get into the gym for the first time when I was about, I think I was 14 or 15 with my mum, because I just wanted to
Mm.
change the way I felt about myself and wanted to be a bit healthier.
Mm.
And I started rowing, and it was just honestly the best experience of my life. The coach at the time, Dudley Story, he's well known in the rowing community. He sadly
Mm.
passed away a wee while ago, but he
Mm.
was the catalyst for me being a coach, honestly.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, just an amazing person. He focused on building us up as a team and individuals, and he also was there as more than a coach as well. And
Mm.
he obviously, yeah, was a catalyst for who I am today. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's amazing how much impact those people can have in our lives, isn't it, along the way?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So what position did you row?
Our main boat was a four, and I was
Yeah.
on stroke side seat three. Um, and then we also did a double with me and my best friend at the time. So that was our only boats, because we started the rowing team at our school. So there's only five of us. So there's only four of us and then our coxswain. And then from then on, I think they still have a rowing team now, but it grew over time. So yeah, it was just the five of us.
So that's frig rigged, isn't it? Is it when you're if you're seat
Well,
three and on your
yeah,
stroke side? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I did a bit of rowing in
Oh,
my
did
day.
you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly eights.
Oh,
And this
eight are
boxing,
awesome.
it's a good sport, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you can't not turn up, right?
No.
Um, I saw a photo on your, I think it's on your Facebook page of a boxing. Was it
Yes.
one of those sort of corporate dues where you?
Yeah, so that was a little bit later in my life when I
Okay,
was 19. So it was
okay,
after I finished university. I got into it with actually an ex-boyfriend. It was an amazing time in my life again. Really showed me sportsmanship and
mm,
very grueling training, similar to rowing, although very different sports. I think they're
yeah,
quite similar in the regard of discipline.
yeah.
And yeah, I started boxing for fun. My dad's always been into it as well, so he gave me some pointers, and then a opportunity came up to fight for charity. So I fought for charity. It was a corporate fight, and then it was about 4 months after that I did my second one, which was actually at Sky City,
Oh,
which
really?
it was, yeah, that was another amazing experience. Me and my boyfriend at the time got on the undercard for, I think it was the middle heavyweight world title for the women.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I just carried on boxing from there, and I'd say my niche now at the gym I'm at is boxing,
Ah,
definitely.
okay.
So a lot of my clients love to do boxing for fitness, and I love the technical side, and hopefully might be fighting again this year, maybe.
Oh, really?
Maybe,
Ah,
maybe.
it didn't put you off.
No.
Well done. How did those fights go? Did they go according to plan?
They did go according to plan, yes. Yeah, I won both
Nice.
unanimously, which was really cool. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. They say everyone has a plan till you get punched in the face.
Yes, yeah. The first time I got punched in the face from my coach, sparring, I
Yeah.
did cry. It was a very
Yeah.
interesting experience.
Mm,
But you
mm.
kind of get used to it over time, which sounds a bit sadistic, but
Well,
yeah,
it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? It's one of those really foreign experiences. It's like a new experience, regardless of how old you are. And when you have
yeah.
it for the first time, your brain's like, "Whoa,
What's going on?
what the hell happened there?"
Yeah,
And I suppose it's a conditioning thing. You become more used to experiencing it and therefore managing it. And it's kind of I don't know whether you'd ever call it normal, but
yeah, as normal as it can get for sure.
yeah, yeah. Oh, good on you. Well done. So you've got another one potentially this year, did you say?
Hopefully, yes. I'm just back into training now, so I've got the
Okay.
bug again, but it's just finding the time with work. But I absolutely love the sport. I think it's a great sport.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Super fit. I mean, same with rowing, right? I mean, rowers are some of the fittest people on the planet, and I think boxers are not too far behind in terms of
Yeah,
their aerobic capabilities. But strength, and it just encompasses so many aspects of fitness, doesn't it?
for sure.
So other pictures I've seen were you did a challenge. Was this one of your
Oh,
community things? Was it 4-4-48?
44, 48, yeah.
Tell me about that.
Oh, yeah. So that was every year at my gym. So Anytime Fitness Cashmere, the gym I work out of, we come up with some crazy thing to raise money for men's mental health for November.
Right.
So my manager, Cowrie, she's a bit crazy and she came up with this idea. It's actually from David Goggins. Do you know David Goggins?
Yeah, I've come
Yeah.
across him.
Yeah. So David Goggins put together this challenge, which is running 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. So I think it's 68.4 kilometers all up or something like that. So we decided to do that, not with much training at all. I think we had about 5 or 6 weeks maybe. We all run, casually, so we weren't starting from scratch. But yeah, we did this insane challenge. We started at the gym, ran with some members, ran with some clients, and yeah, just ran 6.4K or 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. It was another incredible experience. I think the funniest part was just the lack of sleep. So yeah, all of us half of us stayed at the same house, and we would just get up, go for a run, a bit delirious, come back, have some lollies, go to bed, get up again, run again. But we raised, I think it was over $10,000, I want to say.
Wow.
Yeah. I think if I'm correct, but it was just another great community experience with everyone. Yeah.
So every individual does that total distance?
Yes.
It's not a shared thing?
No. Yep. So we all did 68.4, whatever it is.
Yeah, over 48 hours.
Yeah.
Jeez, I know I want to have a crack at that now.
You should. I won't join you though. I'm not going to join you.
Is it as hard? It's hard to, there's a decent amount of rest time, but not a lot of rest time.
Yeah, I think I was talking to a few members about this. I think it depends obviously on your ability, how fit you are in your running experience. But I think the main thing that was hard is it's not a long distance in one go, but then you're not really stretching, or you should stretch, but we just want to go to bed, but then you don't get much sleep. So I think it was the lack of sleep, honestly. Sure. And you kind of rest and your body gets sore, but then you have to run again. Like there's so many runs, your legs just feel like bricks. But I think if you were able to do it with a group of people, it makes it 10 times easier. I think doing it alone would be so much harder.
So did everyone go out together? Everyone rested together, the same schedule?
Kind of. We kind of had a mixture. So there was about 5 of us staying in one house, my old flat. And so we all ran together every single time. And then we'd go to the gym and some members would join us for one run or a couple runs. So we kind of went around the different places. There was a run at Hagley Park, but we all, I think, had 1 or 2 people within our team. There was 2 people that did almost all of it alone, which hats off to them, but it couldn't be me. Yeah.
Awesome challenge. And is that the sort of thing that will come back around and you'll do it each year, or will you just find a new challenge but still raise the funds?
Yes, so every year is a little bit different. So the year before that, we did a rowing challenge, funnily enough. So it was rowing as far as you can within the allotted time, which was just November. This year, I don't want to say anything because I want to keep it as a surprise, but it's going to be another hard challenge. But yeah, I'll leave it as a surprise. You have to look out for that
one. Good work. So what time of year? So do you do it in November? During
November,
yeah, cool. I see you're also a bit of a nutritionist. The food side of things is quite a focus of yours as well.
Yeah. Because of my past when I was a bit younger and my experiences, I'm very passionate on nutrition. Yeah. And I just finished my diploma in nutrition end of last year. So it's still very new on how I'm managing to incorporate it into my personal training. But I'm figuring out ways to do it in more of a holistic way, unless someone comes to me who wants to bodybuild or something. But I think that the everyday person just needs a bit of help more so than a very, very strict, macronutrient goal, things like that. So yeah, it's very new, very passionate about it. And hopefully I just get better as time goes on.
So what sort of studies did you do or qualifications to give you the knowledge and the information that you wanted or needed?
I did a diploma through the Nutrition Institution, which is, I think they're an Australian company. So it was mainly online. And then you had a few exams and things like that. that
Yeah.
obviously marked as you go, worked with a tutor, but I do
Yeah.
want to focus on potentially doing one in women's health specifically. Just again, finding the time. If I can go into university, that would be great. But at this current time, I think online is just the best for me.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great option, isn't it, with what we do, being able to fit it into our quiet moments.
Yeah.
And so I don't know a hell of a lot about Anytime Fitness. Is that facility? Obviously, they're a franchise, aren't they? Is that
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and how do they are they? So they're independently owned. Are the people that own them generally work in them, or do they just own it and someone else runs it? What?
Yeah, I mean, I can only speak from experience from this particular gym, but
Yeah.
I think that they're all run slightly differently
Okay.
across New Zealand and across the world. We do catch up quite a lot with the different Anytimes in the South Island, which is really nice.
Yeah.
So I know quite a few of the other gyms and people that work there, but our gym specifically, I think performs really well. We've got a really good sense of community, really good KPIs, statistics, things like that. I
Mm.
only know this because I work in the office part-time as well.
Right. Yep.
But yeah, the people that own Anytime Fitness, Cashmere, Maddie and Sally, they're just amazing people. They kind of come in, get their hands dirty as well. Sally works in the office too.
Mm.
And yeah, it's just I love Anytime Fitness. I've worked in a few gyms and by far this is the best community wise, member wise, and I think
Mm.
that we get looked after really well, which makes us want to perform better as well, which is really cool.
Okay, that's interesting to know. So, what other facilities have you worked in?
So I actually started in working gyms when I was, I think, 19 or 20. My first job was at Les Mills in Auckland, one of
Okay.
the gyms there. And it was
Yeah.
just in the office, getting to know the ins and outs of the gym. And from there, I worked at, I'm trying to remember now, it was Les Mills. And then I worked at Body Tech for a while as kind of a instructor, trainer, and then, but not PT specifically. And
Mm.
then I worked at Nine Rounds for a bit, so
Okay.
boxing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, I actually got injured. So that's why I wasn't continuing PT for a while. I tore my hip ligaments. So yeah,
Crikey.
yeah. So that was a hard time to not work out. I
Mm.
couldn't work out for 6 months and then
Mm.
worked in sales for a bit in a gym again, and then moved down here 2 years ago now and started as a full-time PT.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Quite a bit of experience going on before doing what you're doing now.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I see you guys use the MyZone bands for your group work.
Yes, yes.
Is that across all the Anytimes, or do they just choose?
I think it is an option for most Anytimes. I don't know if they all do my zone. I think it also
Mm.
because we have a really high amount of group classes at our Anytime. I think a lot of the other Anytime gyms maybe have 4 to 6 a week, and we have about I think 18 or 19.
Right.
So there's
Right.
quite a variety there. So we love
Mm.
my zone. A lot of our members love it too. It just gives a bit of friendly competition or
Mm.
competition between themselves. Um, Great way of tracking fitness, progression, and yeah, members love it, and we can push them in class really hard because if they say they want to go into the red zone, we can see if they're going to the red zone or not. So it's a
Sure.
really handy tool as a coach
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no hiding.
No.
Excellent. Um, so will you have gone past the 2 year mark at the end of this year in the
Mhm.
industry?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. As a
Okay.
PT, yeah.
So what do you think? Do you think you'll be putting your hand up for the PT category?
I thought about it, but I just know that in the space and the people I met at the awards last year, there's a there's a big area to grow for myself. I do
Hmm.
think again I have the potential to grow very, very fast if I keep my head down and put in the work, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be entering this year for PT of the year because it is such a big step up from up and
Sure.
coming.
Sure.
So maybe in the next couple of years, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So even if you're a winner, do you still get some feedback? Do you get some positive
Yes. Yeah.
or things that are useful to work on as well?
Yes, so
Yeah.
after the awards this year, I got a couple of emails with different feedback and a few video entries as well.
Yeah.
And it was just really small things to
Hmm.
build on. I think one was in regards to price. So just, bumping up my price over time, making sure I'm increasing my value, and just the continual learning, because that's something I think that's really big in the industry, is continuing to get better. You don't want to stay stationary in, your knowledge and everything like that. So my goal for the next 2 years in regards to the feedback is just growing again the community, but also making sure I'm growing my knowledge and continuing to learn. Yeah.
Nice one. Fantastic. Good work. So to all those people that are listening that might be new into the industry, what would Saskia's top tips be for those early days? I mean, you've given us some good insight into your career and how you've got to where you got to, and I think that sounds like it was some of the ingredients to the success.
Definitely.
But what would what others would you suggest might be useful?
Okay. I don't necessarily think you have to have a background in sport to be able to do well, but I do think that if you have had a positive experience within fitness, it definitely helps. But for me, the thing that made me grow the most was just trial and error. The first year I was a PT, I just tried all these different things, whether that's exercises, how to do my consultations, how to do check-ins, different ways of PTing clients. I think you have to find what works for you.
Yeah.
And I definitely wasn't scared of failing. I think failing is
Cool.
very important in whatever job you're in, or if you're doing a sport, just learning from that experience. And
Yeah.
I think after that first year as well, just making sure if you're trying to get into the industry, you're learning as much as you can, and also just working really hard. Even though that sounds, everyone might say work hard, but the first year I honestly think I grinded a lot. I put in a lot of consultation slots. I tried to talk to everyone in the gym and get to know them as well. I think last year, something that worked really well for me was because I'd already talked to everyone in the gym, tried to get to know their names, tried to build that relationship. A lot of my clients last year, probably over 50%, were just word of mouth or referrals.
Yeah.
So that kind of meant I didn't have to work as much in getting clients because I've already established that, I guess, value and relationship. So yeah, those would be my tips.
I love it. Awesome. That's fantastic. I was trying to write as quickly as you were
Oh,
speaking.
sorry.
I was, I was failing miserably. So awesome. I'll add those into the show notes. So it's quite nice for people to be able to see some of the key points. I guess one other thing I wanted to understand sort of a little bit more about the culture at your Anytime. Am I right in saying Hannah, who was the other finalist, is she in the same facility as you?
So she's in Anytime Fitness. Where is she from? One in Wellington, I believe. I
Ah,
think
well, okay.
was it Kent Terrace? I think it was Kent Terrace in Wellington. So she's
Gotcha.
still within Anytime Fitness, just not my specific.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there's something that Anytime's doing right, clearly, because getting two finalists into the awards. So yeah, is there something specific? You talked about the owners obviously being hands-on and great
Yes.
people, but is it more than just the owners? Is it something about the way Anytime run the organization?
Definitely. I could talk about this all day, but
Okay.
I'll try to condense it. I think it's number one, the people that own it just genuinely care about people and make sure the PTs are doing well.
Hmm.
And then the environment within the gym, comparing it to gyms I've worked in before, every PT wants all the PTs to do well. So there's no competition, so to speak.
Right.
We all have our own
Right.
niches, things like that. But I think as a member, if you're coming into the gym, you can see that we genuinely love our job, we get taken care of, we work really hard, but there's no aggression within all the PTs. We
Yeah.
just all love
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of it, I guess on the more numerical side, we do a
Yeah.
lot of check-ins with members. So we have a 2-week check-in, month check-in, 3-month check-in. If someone's not coming in, we check in to make sure they're doing okay, offer them a free session. We just try to help them as much as possible, which I think some other gyms potentially tend to get members on board and then kind of forget about them over time.
Yeah.
And yeah, just community events as well. We do so many each year. We do challenges. Cowrie, the manager, myself, and Emilia, one of my other co-workers, we run a women's strength workshop, which is about 8 weeks, teaching women to get stronger. We do
Cool.
coffee catch-ups. We do group training challenges. So there's a lot going on all the time, but I think that's
Mm.
what makes us stand out. Yeah.
Awesome. That's fantastic. I think there's some really useful learnings there for people that are a part of organizations that may have some of those things in place, and equally those who don't, those who are independent could incorporate some of those things into their businesses because there's a lot going on there, which is really useful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. It's been great chatting, and I think we should probably organise another one down there. I keep saying this, and I've probably only done it with like 2 or 3 people, but you never know. Next 6 months, it might be worth coming back and seeing where things are at and how you're doing.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Keep up the good work. Thanks very much for your time.
That's all good.
Cheers. See ya.
See ya.